All right, chat, we're gonna continue with our, just learning about Marvel rival characters. We got Magik. I've never heard of a Magik before. My first time hearing it was through Marvel Rivals, and I was like, bro, who the hell, who is she? We have a perfect video here by Comicstorian. Shout out to my chat for putting me on. Magik's origin, Marvel Rival Spotlight. I keep calling her Magik. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah, she's mad fun to play. I know she has a big sword. I know she is the queen of Limbo, does something in Limbo. She has the little portal she goes through, comes out, does the little or you could go in the portal and then bring like some sort of demon with you. But anyways, yeah, man, let's go ahead and check it out. Shout out to Comicstorian. There will be a link to the original video down below.
Today we continue our Marvel Rival Spotlight.
Oh, and rest in peace to the OG Comicstorian. I didn't know that. They just put me onto that too.
Marvel Rival Spotlights.
Everybody
with
praise
the
G,
dark
praise G.
child herself, Magik.
Magik.
First appearing in Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975, Illyana Rasputin was introduced as Colossus's little sister. She would travel to America and live with him at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Though she was never shown to have any powers.
I feel like that's so random. Yeah, I would need the story from this guy too. I know he's a mutant as well. Yeah, she's a mutant, and then she gets kidnapped, right? That's what we read. And then by Mephisto, and then eventually she ends up coming back.
Though she was never shown to have any mutant powers and acted as little more than a background character. It wasn't until Uncanny X-Men #160 in 1982 that all changed.
I remember I was
Illyana
36 in
watched
1982.
while Storm led a new team of X-Men in a training exercise, but she heard a voice in her mind and followed its directions, eventually being kidnapped by the demon Belasco and brought to the realm of Limbo. There, it was revealed that Belasco planned on using Illyana and corrupting her, which would allow him to escape from Limbo and bring about the Elder God's rule on Earth. The X-Men travel to Limbo to save Illyana, unaware that time moves differently.
How do you even travel to
against
Limbo?
Themselves from the future after having been corrupted by Belasco's dark magic. Aided by an older Aurora Monroe, who had studied white magic, the X-Men are able to temporarily defeat Belasco and make their escape. But Kitty loses hold of Illyana's hand for a brief moment as they step back through the portal back to Earth. Only a few seconds pass, and Kitty manages to grab hold of Illyana's hand once more. But when she pulls her through, the heroes are shocked to discover that 7 years have passed for Illyana.
What?
She is now widely changed. Now we are going to explore the story of what happened during those 7 years for Illyana that changed her life forever.
Yo,
this
what
is
the heck?
Magik from 1983, issues 1 through 4 by Chris Claremont.
So much time passed.
Trapped in Limbo, the X-Men were aided by an older Storm, who now had magical abilities. She casts a spell to send the X-Men back to Earth and uses her magic to hold Belasco and his demons at bay. But the Demon Lord is strong and manages to slip by her and reach for his prize, Illyana. He pulls her from Kitty Pryde's grasp and takes her deeper into the castle. Not wanting to call the X-Men back for fear of them suffering the same fate as her own team, Aurora gives chase. She finds Belasco standing over his altar, where he pulls free a bit of Illyana's soul and corrupts it. He transforms this corrupted soul into the first of his bloodstones, placing it in
I'm
the
so
amulet.
confused though, because how was that person still holding on to her, right? How is it that that she never felt her leave her grasp or something? Like she just had her in a second, pulled her over, and 7 years passed. How the hell did she experience 7 years while still being held on? I'm so confused.
That would allow him to break free of Limbo and bring forth the Elder Gods to Earth. Once emplaced, no power on Earth can remove it. And when the amulet is complete, the Elder Gods will come forth, Belasco calls to her. Aurora tries to use her magic to fight against
Her
Belasco,
soul, yeah.
but the demon is too
I think that's what I'm
strong
explaining
and
now,
knocks
right?
her away. As he gloats at his victory, he is attacked by a shadowy figure. Cat! Belasco hisses as the agile warrior woman rushes.
Ma'am, where are your clothes? Yo, chat, I am fumbling because why am I able to see your thighs like that? You cannot wear. Why are you doing that to me? Oh my. Bro, this is like the Invisible Woman attire, that skin that she has right now. It's all legs and cheeks, bruh. What you got? Why do you have boots on? Like that's gonna do something.
Him with her sword, but before she can cut through him,
Oh,
Belasco.
It's not even just her legs. It goes up to.
Disappears, promising to return for the child. Aurora thanks Kat for her help and teleports the three of them to her garden oasis.
Her name is Kat.
A place protected by Aurora's own white magic. Once Ilyana is put to sleep, the two women discuss what they should do next. Kat believes that they should kill Ilyana now to put an end to Belasco's plan. And Aurora had thought about the idea. I have considered it, but there's too much blood on my hands already. I want no more.
Go put some clothes on.
Aurora believes that she can break Belasco's link with the girl so that they can return her to Earth. But once Aurora journeys inside Ilyana's soul, she discovers that what remains has already been twisted by Belasco's dark magic. She fights against an evil version of Ilyana and is barely able to escape the soulscape alive. Once returned to Limbo, Aurora explains to Kat that she believes that if she can train Ilyana in magic, the young girl can combat her own link to Belasco. But Kat becomes angry. That's precisely what Belasco wants. The more she learns, the more valuable she'll become. It is easier to corrupt. You'll be doing Belasco's work for him. Kat snaps at her. She removes her mask, revealing the face of Kitty Pryde, now transformed into a demonic cat.
I'm still fumbling. Cause let me tell you something. Just keep the mask on. Hey, no, we good. Chat, we good. Just keep the mask on. That's okay.
Thanks to Belasco, I'm not even human anymore.
That's okay.
And before I allow another living soul, especially one that I care for, to suffer the same fate, I'll see Ilyana dead and you in hell.
Hey.
Kitty hissed before turning and storming away.
Go put some
The
clothes
next
on.
day, Aurora begins training Ilyana, introducing her to magic. She teaches the girl to astral project so that she can see the life force running through the garden.
That's cool.
Ilyana sees the corruption that has begun to take root, and the darkness that has already begun to grow inside of her and Aurora. When the lesson ends, Ilyana is shocked to find that a year has passed since they began. If the days pass so quickly, I won't be a child much longer,
Jesus.
Ilyana points out.
A year?
That part of your life is already past, Storm tells her sadly. That night, Kat slips back into the gardens and sneaks into Ilyana's room.
Bro said she got
offering
cement
to take her
cheeks.
away from this place so that she isn't corrupted by Limbo. Remembering the darkness inside of her and Storm, Ilyana agrees, not wishing to stay in Limbo any longer than she has to. And the two flee into the night, unaware that Belasco is watching them through the fires of his castle. Aye, Kat. Bring Ilyana out of this terrible place and into the arms of those who love her. Your success will be my victory. And the destruction and damnation of the human race, he cackles. And so Kat and Ilyana fled into the lands of Limbo. As they traveled, they were attacked by demonic beasts. Though,
What
Kat
is
was
wrong
able
with
to
her?
defend Ilyana with her mutant powers and combat abilities. As Kat fights against the beast, Ilyana begins to run away. Ilyana, stop! Whatever happens, stay clear of those circles of light, Kat shouts, motioning to the strange portals that dot the landscape. But Ilyana tripped and stumbled, falling back through one of the portals. She suddenly finds herself in the tunnels beneath Belasco's castle. She reaches out a hand to help find her way, and is shocked to see the ancient corpse of her brother pinned to the wall. Ilyana stumbles back in fear to discover one of Belasco's demonic soldiers waiting for her. The demon Sim grabs her, gloating about bringing her to Belasco. But Kat is suddenly there, her blade stabbed into the demon's tail.
Hey, Queenie, does that look like cement cheeks? Alright then. Alright then. Thank you very much.
Kat dodges the demon's attack and grabs a hold of Ilyana, dragging her through another portal and back out into the demonic
What is
landscape
happening?
of Limbo.
How does she
The two
know
continue
this?
their journey, with Kat continuing to protect Ilyana.
Yeah, I
hunting
appreciate
the
the follow,
monsters
bro.
of Limbo for food and their hides. One night, the two are sitting around a fire, and Ilyana finally voices
She need to
her
put some
concern.
clothes on, bro.
Aurora said it would be dangerous to send me home, she points out. But Kat shakes her head. You can never trust the word of a sorceress, she explains. She holds up her blade. This you can trust. Cold steel and the strength of your body. Get some sleep, Ilyana. You will start training in the morning, Kat tells her. And she wasn't lying.
Hey!
The next day...
Now you gonna make the child dress like this? No, this is an L mentor, L leader, L trainer, L teacher. Get her out of here ASAP. Yo, Kat. Get out! What is wrong with you?
Kat begins to train Ilyana in the art of the blade, teaching her to hone herself physically and mentally.
You could have done
More
that with the
time
clothes
passes
on.
as Ilyana becomes stronger and more skilled with a sword, until the day finally comes where she actually draws blood against Kitty Pryde.
Damn.
After the training session, the two women sit down. Kat, how much time has passed for the X-Men back on Earth
3
since
years.
I was kidnapped? Ilyana asks. Kat wipes the blood from her cut. Probably none, she admits, dismaying Ilyana as she has spent 3 years in Limbo.
There you go.
Finally, their
I knew
journey
it.
comes to an end as they arrive at Belasco's mountain fortress. The pair slip inside, but they are attacked by the corrupted Nightcrawler. Guten Tag, dear ladies. How kind of you to pay us a visit.
Wait, the actual
Kurt hisses
Nightcrawler?
as he leaps at the women. He draws his own blade to fight against Kat, but Kitty phases through the floor. Kurt turns his gaze upon Ilyana, who draws her own dagger to stand against him. But Kurt laughs and bamfs away from her attacks. I can strike from any direction, and regardless of how quickly you act, I can be gone before you touch me, he gloats. But Kat
Bro, put some
phases
clothes
through the
on.
floor behind him and grabs a hold of his leg, pulling him down into the floor and leaving him there. His leg shatters as it fuses with the stone, and Kat stabs Kurt through the chest, ending his howls of pain. Finally, Kat leads Ilyana to Belasco's balcony, where the veil between Limbo and Earth is at its thinnest. Kat believes that she can phase through here and return Ilyana, but they are tricked. Everything was an illusion, and the pair find themselves in Belasco's throne room. Kat rushes forward with a roar of anger, preparing to strike Belasco down. But the demon uses his powers to transform her, taking control of her mind and transforming her body into even more of a cat. As Ilyana watches, she realizes that she isn't afraid of Belasco.
No way he turned her into a pet. Bro, what was going on back in 1985, man? No clothes on the characters, and now she's a pet to a man? How dare you? How dare Bro, no way. Wait, so how the hell is she gonna get away from this?
She is drawn to him. He offers her a dagger, and she cuts her own arm with it, allowing the blood to form into a second bloodstone that Belasco places in the amulet. And Belasco smiles at her. Come, child. I will show you to your apartments. In the morning, you'll begin your apprenticeship, the demon tells her. Meanwhile, Aurora uses her magic ball to watch this unfold.
Oh, I thought she was
tried
there.
to warn Kat that something like this would happen, and anger rises up in her.
Good.
Ilyana and Kat are like my own flesh. Yet, for the sake of their souls, for the world itself, I must destroy them. Aurora bellows in rage. And so Ilyana's training in the dark arts began, with each day corrupting the remainder of her soul a little more. But the corruption wasn't complete. At night, in her chambers, she would attempt to do what Aurora had briefly taught her. Try to take a bit of her soul and use it to create life.
Hey, why are we constantly using this pentagram stuff? What was happening back in 1985, man? This is not good.
To create a seed to plant, as Aurora did. But the seed would always explode in darkness.
Oh, they're in hell, duh.
That the darkness in her was growing daily. Ilyana looks up from one of her failed attempts and sees Aurora standing before her.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
clad in armor and armed with a sword. Did you think I had forgotten you, Ilyana? Or left you to your fate? She asked.
This people,
Ilyana
they need
rushes
God,
to
man.
hug Storm, but passes right through her, realizing that Storm is merely an astral projection.
Bruh.
Ilyana explains what happened to Kat. She has become little more than a pet to Belasco, and asks if they can help her. I will do what must be done, child. Trust me, Storm promises her, her hand tightening on the sword as she promises to help them both when she arrives. Still dismayed, Ilyana crawls into bed, but she is shocked to find one of the light discs on the ceiling, the same ones that had teleported her in the wastes of Limbo. Kat called them stepping discs, Ilyana remembers, shocked to find one in the castle.
Oh,
since
that's when she gets
Belasco
pulled.
Usually keeps them out. A lot of use it does on the ceiling. I wish it had come closer, Ilyana whispers, and as if the disc hears her, it slides to the wall. Ilyana is shocked that she seems to be able to control the disc. She steps through the disc and finds herself within Belasco's inner sanctum and hears the sound of battle. She glances down from a balcony to see Belasco fighting against a younger version of Storm, but one who is already a powerful sorceress.
But why is she dressed like that? Where are her clothes, man?
She watches as Storm uses her dark magic to defeat Belasco, though the toll it takes transforms her into a demon. And the victory is short-lived as Belasco reappears once more, laughing that Storm would corrupt herself in the vain hope of defeating the master of Limbo. Ilyana realizes she seems to be able to control the discs, that she seems to be a mutant like her brother, and can tap into the powers of Limbo. Ilyana steps through another portal and finds herself back in the castle in her own time, realizing that Storm doesn't want Ilyana to repeat the same mistakes she made. Ilyana rushes to the throne room in hopes of aiding Storm. She finds Aurora once more fighting against Belasco, who is now aided by the animalistic Kat. Ilyana rushes to help her friend as Kat strikes,
Damn,
but
she did a
Ilyana
1v2.
manages to jump on Kat's back. As the demonic kitty fights against her, Ilyana remembers Kat's training. She moves fast and snaps her old friend's neck, allowing Kat to slide to the ground.
What?
Sadness overtakes Ilyana as she crawls to Aurora's side. You did what you had to, my child. Do not weep or mourn, for you freed Kat's soul from bondage. Storm whispers to
she
her.
snapped her neck.
Ilyana watches as Storm slips into death. Be glad for me, Ilyana, for I go to join those I love. Storm whispers as she dies. But Belasco suddenly stands over them. Not quite, Wind Rider, the demon calls. He uses his dark magic to keep Storm alive. Long ago, I claimed your soul, Aurora. You stole it back from me. We will strip your soul from your body while you still live, and offer it to the Dark Ones as a sacrifice. Death will not herald your freedom, but your eternal damnation, Belasco shouts. Belasco looks down at Ilyana and offers her a sword. He explains that they will create the third Bloodstone and use it to strip Aurora's soul from her body.
Does she have to kill her?
Ilyana takes the sword and looks down at Storm's face. The old woman actually smiles, and in that smile, Ilyana realizes what she must do. Forgive me. I wish there was another way, Ilyana whispers as she grips the sword tight. She suddenly rears back and stabs Aurora in the throat, killing her.
You couldn't pick anyone else?
Belasco bellows in rage, but Storm's death unleashes something in Limbo. The storms begin to rage outside, striking the castle with thunder and lightning. Belasco moves to strike Ilyana, but she opens one of the light discs and disappears with Storm's body.
Nice!
In moments, they find themselves back in Storm's garden, where Ilyana buries her. But Storm's magic no longer protects the place, and Belasco sends his illusions for her. First, it is Storm's corpse, which tries to attack her. But Ilyana disappears into another light disk.
Where's she at now?
She finds herself beneath the fortress, where she is attacked by her brother. But Ilyana disappears once again. But she can't escape, and eventually is caught by Belasco,
Hey.
the demonic version of the X-Men by his side. She opens her eyes and finds that she is being held by Colossus, or a demon version of him. Belasco tuts at her and smiles. "This moment could have been glorious for you as well, child," he tells her as he begins to work his dark magic. Ilyana watches with dismay as another bloodstone is created from the corruption within her and placed into the amulet.
Oh, he needs
The
2
third
more.
bloodstone. Belasco leans down to her. "You must be taught a lesson, Ilyana. I leave you to fend for yourself in this wilderness. My spells will deny you the use of your mutant teleporting talent.
No!
You'll not use your light circles to escape.
Hey.
You may starve, be racked by loathsome plagues, ravaged by wild beasts.
What is your problem?
You will not die. When I have need of you, a summons will bring you to my side. I will take from you whatever I please, and you cannot prevent it.
What is your
Eventually, of course, you will not want to. Then perhaps, if you ask nicely, I may forgive you." Belasco calls before disappearing. And so Ilyana was alone once more. She finds herself in Storm's garden, where the great tree that
She's about to
Storm
start
had grown
meditating.
still sits. But now, it is no longer protected by Storm's magic and falls to the ground. But Ilyana believes that she can use the oak's life force to help her. She reaches out with the magic that Belasco taught her, combined with Storm's training to try and create new life.
Nice.
But once again, it is destroyed with darkness. But then Ilyana realizes that she is not Storm. Storm sought to create life to spite the corruption inside her,
What's she gonna do?
to fight against
life?
Belasco's influence. But Ilyana does not wish for a metaphorical weapon.
What's she doing?
She seeks vengeance. She reaches out with her magic once more, pulling the last of the oak's life force to create what she truly wants.
A sword.
A sword. The sword is powerful and cuts through the enchantments Belasco had placed on the garden.
What?
It boosts Ilyana's powers and allows her to use her light discs once more.
What?
Belasco stands in his chamber, going over his future plans.
Bro,
And
Belasco,
his-
you have to be horny, bro. Look at their attire. Bro, look. Now, Belasco, I see what you're doing, bro. Even the men, too. Well, this one's fine. This guy has nothing on but little tighty whities on, man.
going over his
Freak
future
ass boy.
plans, and is
He's
shocked
Diddy.
when Ilyana steps out with her sword.
Where are her clothes? Somebody give her clothes. Yo, what? Yo, what's going on in this dimension, man?
Her weapon is powerful and
He's
cuts
Diddy.
through Belasco's magic.
Bruh.
The two fight, and the balance of power in Limbo begins to shift. As Ilyana becomes more demonic,
No.
Belasco seems to become less. Finally, Ilyana begins to make the final strike, but she remembers what she saw in the past, when Storm made the same mistake.
She became a
And
demon.
so she turns away from this path, retaining her humanity. Belasco shouts at her, calling her weak by turning away her true purpose as the standard bearer of the Elder Gods. And he suddenly disappears in a flash, promising that she will regret this decision.
Oh.
Alone, Ilyana stands with the amulet in her hand. She steps out onto the balcony and uses her powers to open a portal to Earth.
Use your
Hands
power.
are suddenly reaching
for
down
clothes.
for her, and she can hear Kitty shouting her name. Ilyana reaches out for her friends and is pulled to safety. It has been 7 years since she was trapped in Limbo. Though it was only mere moments for the X-Men.
Yeah,
Pulled
yeah.
to the other side, the team of mutants are shocked by how
Clothes!
much Ilyana has grown.
Yes!
Though they could never know what she had gone through. And that concludes
Oh
the
my-
original origin for Ilyana Rasputin, aka Magik. What do you guys think of her origin? Do you think it still holds up, or would you prefer a more modern retelling? And
I
those
would like a more modern retelling. Okay, so that was the origin story. Now I want to know more about her. So I think we can actually put the other video in here too. Never mind, chat. It is what it is. I think, okay, yeah, this video was good enough. It's good to at least learn the origin. She's too new. Oh, is that what it is? Probably. Maybe there's like not that much material on her. It's more about like an origin thing rather than like her feats. Not feats, like F-E-E-T-S. Her feats. Things she's accomplished or something, right? But yeah, Ghost Rider next would actually go crazy, bro. I need to know more about Ghost Rider for sure. Anyways, all right, cool little video.